One questions maybe for you. Thank you for your interesting presentations of HOT. Yeah, HOT is a higher order thinkings. Yeah, as I know that this is the strategy of higher order thinking strategy is, I think, is the best way for us, especially for the lecturers who are teaching for the higher education. And then in our country, we have evaluation. Yeah, after we do teaching students, of course, that we have to make a kind of evaluation in the form of examination. Now in English evaluation, actually that the best thing that we have to give to our student is that, as I said just now, is speaking, because speaking is a kind of skill that we have to achieve, especially that nowadays that English is very important for the era of globalization itself. So in your mind, Prof, how is the best strategy to design the hot evaluations for the speaking skill itself, Prof? Because sometimes that when we are teaching for higher level of students, sometimes that their ability in speaking also that still very low. And even though that they have very good competence in English itself for the knowledge, they know about grammar well, and then also they know how to answer the reading comprehension as well. But when we come to the speaking skill, seems that some students are very very low, yeah, very lack of that one. So in your mind, Prof, actually, that's how is the way to design the speaking evaluations, which is based on the higher order thinking perspective itself. I think
Yes,
that's my question, Prof.
it's a good point thing to talk about, right? Yeah, I know that first of all, in order for the students to have a high proficiency of speaking, again, is to encourage them. I know there are not many English speaking clubs here, but students in your schools, yes, can build up some groups of English speaking, right? And then you can also ask students from other universities, yes, to do the same thing in their universities, and then your students can meet with the students from the other ones, and then they can share with one another. They can have communication later on. And how to evaluate is, of course, you don't have to think of something like mathematics. Yes, how well they are motivated to use English. Yes, how free. Yes, they are. Yes, using English when in communication. That's it. But without, as I said to you, without making it as a habit, yeah, the evaluation or the grade for reading section will be low, will be poor. Try to ask your teacher, okay? Ask your friends to speak English. You teach English in school, but you use Bahasa Indonesia. How could you expect your students to speak English? That's it. So again, look at Malaysia and Singapore. Do you think their English is correct? No, ungrammatical. But since they use it every day in their daily activity, daily life, then even lay people who do not go to school, who do not enter high school, use English. Tourists come from overseas and they speak English to them. Later on, yes, they get competence in speaking. Right. You know how I can speak English? Yes, this is because of my own struggle. When I was in high school, there were many tourists, English-speaking tourists, had a stopover in some restaurant in my town, and then I joined them. I talked to them in English, even though my English is just ABC, but it leads me to the advancement. This is something that you do. If you never use it, how can you do it, right? If the frequency is low enough, how can you speak English well? So again, this is a good time for us. Everyone should be aware. This is the era of where English is spoken. That is why there are around 750 variants of English in the world because they use it in daily conversation. So there will be, don't say to your students, do not get embarrassed when your English sounds like your vernaculars. For example, your English is or sounds like Bataknese English. Don't worry about it. Cairnese English. No, there are many varieties of English. There will be later on Cairnese English. There will be Sundanese English, Japanese English. It is, I've joined a lot of debates on television, StreamYard and Zoom. I heard people from across the globe speaking English with their own varieties, but they can, yes, they can understand each other. They can debate, right? So no problem. If you hear a Korean, for example, debater, then you hear a Middle East man, yes, debates, and American speaking, yeah, English speaking man debate. They can understand each other. So don't worry about it. Whatever the variety it is, just let them do it. Do not make them get discouraged just because their English doesn't sound like Joe Biden's English. Yes, Michael Jordan's English. No, no need to think about it. Yeah. All right. So keep encouraging. This is the thing I think. This is the key. Yes.
All right. This is actually based on the uh, obstacles I'm facing in my class. Sometimes I feel like I can't reduce my talking time because especially when I want to promote the four C's, critical thinking and then creativity, collaborations, communications. Uh, I think I sometimes spend too much time in talking. So do you have any ideas on how to reduce the teacher's talking time when we teach in the classroom so it will give more space for the students to promote those four skills?
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. I know that the four skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, have to be achieved by your students. But as I said, the first thing that you need to give to your students is the ability, the courage to use English. We don't care about whether it is wrong or right. Yes, it takes time. So, yeah, you may, okay. First of all, you may think that English is not good. This pronunciation is not good. And I need to say, to intervene this way of thing, right? Yeah. So think about it. Yes. Go ahead. Talk freely. Talk freely, right? You don't have to think about how your English sounds. Yes. I don't know how my English sounds, but I can communicate to all English speaking people and I can get article, yes, published in Scopus Index journals. Yes. Even though who I am now, right? This is my English. I don't know how it sounds, but I don't care. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, I know one teacher. Maybe he likes American English very well. Okay, the English that we are going to deal with in this class is American English. But the teacher, doesn't even know that the English he uses is American English. It's something misleading understanding of what English is. Right? So you don't have to be like British English speaking, Australian English speaking, and so on, right? But now, if you study functional grammar, systemic functional grammar, yes, it has given room to learners to talk freely, to talk about their experience. Yes, not only what is contained in the in the issue that you teach them. They are free. Yes, and perhaps I always say to my students, I don't think that I have give you mark whenever you are right, correct. I also evaluate their motivation, their courage to use English. That's it. Now listen, if you find out a student speaking ungrammatically and so on, but he is well motivated to use English. Yes, do not give him 60, mark 60, grade 60. Give him 80 and then he will be encouraged. He will be motivated to go ahead. Oh, it seems my English is good. My pronunciation is good. Yeah, but if you give, for example, your student 50, yes, then he will get discouraged. So it's a kind of psychological approach, how to make them speak, how you can position yourself among the learners. And thank you for your questions.
So English still a foreign language in Indonesia. Is it right, sir? Prof?
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yes. In theory, as I said to you just now, that our language policy gives room to coexistence of three languages: regional language, national language, and global language. But in practice, is far away from this. This is the challenge for all teachers. Don't get exhausted. Go ahead, encourage your students to use English. Don't care about how it is conducted, but you can create your own method of how to encourage them to speak and to use it. There is time when they have to be proficient enough in English. Yes. Yeah. For instance, to write a grammatical report, grammatical writing, and so on. But you don't have to concentrate on this in the first stage, on the early stage of instruction. Yeah. Okay. I've seen my colleague here from Metris, Hakiman.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Maurice didn't notice my raised hand, so thank you very much. Good morning, Prof. It's nice to be able to listen to your talk again. I know we've talked about this, but I'd like you to say something so that everybody can hear what you have been thinking of this. I think, would you agree that our ability, our proven ability in English, our ability to speak English reasonably well, do you think that would have a positive impact on the way we speak Bahasa Indonesia?
No, not at all.
The reason my raising this question is because one time I was in a national language seminar attended by many guest speakers from Pusat Bahasa in Jakarta. I don't know if it's out of the patriotic nationalism or something. They gave me a blatant no. It's not right. But I'd like you to comment on this. In my opinion, my ability in speaking English has a good positive impact on the quality of my Bahasa Indonesia. Why is that? Because all languages have their strengths and, if you like, also their weaknesses. So I think we can benefit from the advantages or the strengths of knowing English.
Yeah, right,
For example, in English, you never speak or say something without including or without incorporating the subject. So
Yes.
you can't say, like a lot of things we say in Bahasa Indonesia, we just neglect the subject.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I'd like to hear, no, not to hear, because we always discuss these things in the past. I'd like you to say something so that this can be something the public would know as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So this is again a misleading opinion. Yes, the policymaker doesn't know linguistics. There is no limit for our brain to acquire how many languages. There will be hundreds of languages can be acquired. The thing is, do you have habit to use them? That's all. And then acquiring other languages, maybe English and some other languages, does not negatively affect your capability of using Indonesia. It even boosts your ability in Bahasa Indonesia. Yes, since I study grammar, I teach TOEFL preparation to my students, and then I know English grammar well. Then my grammar of Bahasa Indonesia is much better than the average Bahasa Indonesia. Yes, I just wanna compete with Indonesian scholars how to write Indonesian well. Even if my English or my expertise is English and his expertise is Indonesian, his Indonesian is not better than mine. Yes, right? So this is not true. And this is one of the reasons why the government eliminate English subject from primary school curriculum. Yes, he said, or the government said, that English is too hard for primary students. And then if we give more attention or special attention to English, it will give negative effect on the love of Indonesian people to Bahasa Indonesia because they know better English than Indonesian language. This is what a misleading concept. That is why I say this might be the reason why English is not a second language in Indonesia. This is a foreign language. Yes. So something, first of all, the thought is not proper and it leads to the implementation of acts. Yes, that is not proper. Yes, that is contradictory with the multilingualism society. Yes, I think it's a good thing to do. So I just want to remind all the teachers here, do not think that if you know English or your students know English well, and then they are Indonesian, will be forgotten, will be left behind. Yes, their Bahasa Indonesia proficiency will be poor. Not at all. It even support your Indonesian ability. Thank you, Pak Hakiman.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Thank you.
He's a graduate from New Zealand University, and he has just done his doctoral degree from Malaysia. He's a good speaker too.